Are you ready to find out how to get to October 22, 1844? Okay. Now, in order to answer this, we have to go back to the basics, which we've been doing. But the Bible is supposed to be simple. This shouldn't be a complex thing. And for some reason today, it's gotten over complex, so we can't understand anything. We should be able to do this really quickly and easily. Isaiah 66:23. And it came to pass that from one new moon to another, and from one Sabbath to another, shall all flesh come to worship before me, saith the Lord. So we need to find out what these months are, because if we're not getting to the right month, we need to find out what is a biblical month. Does that make sense? Biblical month, biblical year, biblical day, all of these things. And then the puzzle is going to start to come together. So how are the months work? From new moon till new moon. So that means the first day of the month starts on a new moon, right? Simple. This is biblical. Now, who knows how many days are in a biblical month? 30 days. Who knows how we find that? A little bit louder. Okay. We find this in Genesis 7:11 and 8, verse 2 to 4. Because we need to show this from the Bible, right? Because we're Bible-based. In the 600th year of Noah's life, in the what month? Second month. And what day? 17th day of the month. The same day were all the fountains of the great deep broken up, and the windows of heaven were opened. 8 verse 2. The fountains also of the deep and the windows of heaven were stopped, and the rain from heaven was restrained, and the waters returned from off the earth continually. And after the end of the how long? 150 days, the waters were abated. And the ark rested in what month? The 7th month. On what day? 17th day of the month, upon the mountains of Ararat. So we went from what month? The 2nd month to the 7th month. How many months is that? 5 months. And how many days total were there? 150. So 150 divided by 5, 30 days. Okay? So here's how we get 30 days to a biblical month. So put this in the back of your mind. Ezekiel 4:6, Numbers 14:34, day for a year. 30 days to a month, Genesis 7 and 8. Just think of Noah's flood. Now, we need to find out what is the first biblical month of the year. Genesis 1:14. And God said, let there be lights in the firmament of the heaven to divide the day from the night, and let them be for signs and for seasons and for days and for years. So, is it a good thing that we're looking to the moon for how to tell time? Yes. That's what they're there for seasons and signs and days and for years. Now we need to ask Jesus, how do we determine the time of the year? Matthew 24:32. Now learn a parable of the fig tree. When its branch is yet tender and putteth forth leaves, ye know that summer is nigh. So how did Jesus say that we're supposed to tell the time of the year? Based on what? Okay, the plants, right? The plant growth. He says, when the branch is yet tender and putteth leaves, you know that summer is near. So he's telling us we need to be looking for plant life. Are you following me? Exodus 12:1 and 2. And the Lord spake unto Moses and Aaron in the land of Egypt, saying, this month shall be unto you the beginning of months. It shall be what month? The first month of the year unto you. So we're getting close now. Now we just need to find out when they left Egypt. because when they left Egypt is the first month. Exodus 9:28 to 32. Entreat the Lord, for it is enough, that there be no more mighty thunderings and hail, and I will let you go, and ye shall stay no longer. So this is when the plagues were falling on Egypt, and this final plague is coming, and Pharaoh is asking for it to stop. And Moses said unto him, verse 29, as soon as I am gone out of the city, I will spread abroad my hands unto the Lord, and the thunder shall cease. Neither shall there be any more hail, that thou mayest know how the earth is the Lord's. But as for thee and thy servants, I know that ye will not fear the Lord God. So already he's seen by all the actions that Pharaoh wasn't going to choose the right thing in the end. 31, this is our key. And the flax and the barley was smitten. For the barley was in what? Ear. And the flax was bold. But the wheat and the rye were not smitten, for they were not grown up. So now we have an idea when they left Egypt. So when they left Egypt, what plants were ripe? Flax and barley. Okay. This gives us a better idea. Exodus 23:15. Thou shalt keep the feast of unleavened bread. Thou shalt eat unleavened bread 7 days, as I command thee, in the time appointed of the month Abib, for in it thou camest out of Egypt, and none shall appear before me empty. So this feast of unleavened bread was right in the month of Abib, which is the month that they left Egypt. Back to Leviticus 23. In the 14th day of the first month, at even is the Lord's Passover. And on the 15th day of the same month is the feast of unleavened bread unto the Lord. 7 days ye must eat unleavened bread. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, When ye be come into a land which I give unto you, and shall reap the harvest thereof, ye shall bring a sheaf of what? First fruits. And what was the first fruits that we just read about? What was ripe? Flax and barley. Is this the first fruits? Yes. You should bring the first fruits of your harvest unto the priest, and it shall be a wave the sheaf, and he shall wave the sheaf before the Lord to be accepted for you. On the morrow, after the Sabbath, the priest shall wave it. So if we start putting the puzzle pieces together, we have 30 days to a biblical month, and that first month is the month that they left where? Egypt. And where did we find that? Exodus 9 and 12, okay? If you want to see it again, Exodus 9 and 12, 1 and 2. I want you to get this in your mind because this is really important stuff. So, when they left Egypt, what was ripening? Flax and barley. Okay, which was the feast of first fruits. Okay? So, we have to ask the question now, because Jesus said, when you look at the plants, you know the season. And when the barley is ripening, that is the first month, the month of Abib. So all we have to find out now is, when does barley become ripe in Israel? Does this make sense? So we need to go based on Israel agricultural time. Now, we can find this out, and this is the barley letter from the Israel agricultural minister. And this starts in the first and second week of April. Okay, Now, if the flax and the barley is beginning to be ripe in the first or second week of April, so the barley's ripening, and now what starts the month? It's the new what? Moon. So now that the barley's beginning to be ripened, we need to look for the new moon, and when that new moon arrives, that is the first month. Make sense? So then if the barley is ready in the first or second week of April, what is the first biblical month of the year? April. Thank you. So it's April. So now if we count from April as the first month, what do we get to? April, May, June, July, August, September, October. Wow. This is not complicated stuff. This should not be complicated. This should not be something that we have forgotten. But there's a reason that the devil has made us forget these things. Joel 2, verse 23. Remember, we've only got to October so far. Be glad then, ye children of Zion, and rejoice in the Lord your God, for he hath given you the former rain moderately, and he will cause to come down for you the rain, the former rain, and the latter rain in the first month. The latter rain, when it came, helped to ripen the barley harvest, and that is how they got this harvest for the first fruits. So the latter rain comes and it ripens the harvest in the first month. Also, on the 10th day, Leviticus 23:27, the 10th day of the 7th month, there shall be a day of atonement. It shall be an holy convocation unto you, and ye shall afflict your souls, and offer an offering made by fire unto the Lord. So again, 7 months in, starting in April, and we get to the month of October. Leviticus 23:24. Speak unto the children of Israel, saying, in the 7th month, so what month would that be for us today? October. In the first day of the month, shall ye have a Sabbath, a memorial of what? Blowing of trumpets, a holy convocation. So remember, the 7th trumpet had to sound before the judgment started. And this was the same in the whole sanctuary process. So the Day of Atonement was on what day of the month? 10th day of the 7th month. And the blowing of trumpets was on what day? The first day. How many days apart? 10 days. Right? First day, 10th day. The first day of the month. Before we get to the conclusion now, and you see how incredible this prophecy is, because again, these three angels' messages are prophecies, we have to go back and go through the experience of how they came to this, or else we wouldn't be doing exactly what we've been reading to do. Revelation 10, 5-7, that there should be time no longer, I'm just reading the highlighted part, and the mystery of God should be finished. Adventist Review and Sabbath Herald. Here is the patience of the saints. Says the third angel, their position is one of peculiar trials. In publishing the first and second messages, they did the will of God. When fulfilling the word, they received divine approbation. But a period of trial of faith, the waiting, watching time, must also come to fulfill the word. And we're going to get into this more tomorrow. These fulfillments are all perfectly plain. The first message, based on time, has been given. So this message was a message based on what? Time. And what was the time? This was the time of the judgment, the time of the blowing of trumpets, and they needed to find this out. Now, who knows when the first disappointment actually happened? Do you know when it happened? Okay, interesting. So we have 1844, 1843, April, all these things. The true disappointment, first disappointment, came in April of 1844. How many people have heard that they first came to 1843 because they made a mistake on the 0 year? How many people have heard that? Did you know that is completely false? Did you know that never happened? This is just a made-up story. You can read all the pioneers you want, and you're never going to find that. They never predicted that anything would happen in 1843, our time. Remember, if we're talking about biblical time, when did we say the first month of the year was? April, right? So March 1844 would be what year biblically? 1843. This is where you get the discrepancy, because we don't understand biblical time anymore. They understood what they were saying. When they said 1843, they knew it meant 1844 in the spring. So there was no miscalculation on the 0 year.